Good morning. I'm going to give you a tour of my garden today. So we'll just do a quick overview here. Here is the compost where everything starts. And let's start here. This is replanted lettuce. As you can see, there's netting over it to keep the quail out. And the garlic was planted here originally. So I've taken the garlic out and it's hanging up to dry. And now we've got the lettuce here. Cabbage. And actually the cabbage has very little damage due to the whitefly, and I think it's because of the garlic. So that's sort of interesting. Here we've replanted corn from what used to be, I can't remember what used to be here. And anywhere you see the orange netting, it's to keep the quail out. There's beets. These are no-dig potatoes. I'm giving them a try this year. Basically, I just put the potatoes on the ground and then covered them with grass clippings. So we'll see how that goes. This is Nez Perce beans. And the Nez Perce beans are a drying bean. And I've never tried them, so this is the first year. And up there is the scarlet runners. They're so pretty. They're just starting to come and get the beans on them. And the hummingbirds love the flowers. This is alyssum, and it comes back every year. I don't know where it comes from, but it's very pretty and attracts the bees. Take a little tour of the greenhouse here. This is some sweet millions. This is called Tracy, this one here. And these are all plants. Everything in my garden this year was started from seed. And because I wasn't able to get to the nursery, I started all my plants in my little greenhouse here. Here is some beefsteak that are coming along. Rob comes in and checks every day to see if anything's red yet. Cucumbers. Got a bunch of cucumbers. Cucumbers there. And these are Romas. Don't know if you can see those down in there. And these are pepper plants, and they're just starting to get flowers on them. So they're usually a little later. Here is another cucumber. Time to give some away, I think. They're getting huge. Stepping out of the greenhouse, this is called Taylor Horticulture. They're a bean, they're a drying bean again. And they make the best baked beans. They are wonderful and meaty, and oh, they're so good. Okay, there's a volunteer potato. You'll see a lot of those in the garden from where I planted potatoes other years. I just let them come up. This is the bed that I was talking about that is a hugelkultur bed. It has wood down below, and then I've put wood chips on top, and it's done fabulous. Got fiesta squash and then corn, and you can see the corn is coming into silk, so we should have corn pretty soon. This is another hugelkultur, non-hugelkultur bed. It just has the wood chips on top, and this was all full of broccoli and cauliflower, which is finished. I put a couple of second sowings of squash in there, so I don't know how well they're going to do. And I've planted some more cabbage, I believe, is in here. And these yogurt containers that I've put in and cut off the bottom, they help keep the slugs out, I found, because they've got a rough top. Not that I have any slugs in this bed, but they also seem to help with the white moss. Now, these are just hula hoops that I've put over here, and I've put them on wooden skewers like you do your food with. So we're back to the scarlet runners, and we'll head over to the herb garden. So rhubarb, horseradish. I planted I think a cabbage in here. Oh, that's a woodpecker. And oregano, and this is thyme here, and there's parsley gone to seed and tarragon down there. And these are some plants that I've started again. These are cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower, and I'm going to be planting them as I take out the potatoes, and we'll just see what they do. Over here we have soybeans. These are a crop that I haven't grown before, so, or maybe I grew, no, I don't think I've grown them before. And so I'm giving them a try. And then the next ones here, they're called Becca beans, and they're a drying bean as well. Up along the top here are all the peas. So we've got sweet peas, we've got shelling peas, and we've got snap peas. And as you can see, the peas are pretty well done, and I'm just waiting for them to dry and go to seed, and then I'll collect the seed. Oh, I forgot about this plant. This is a Swiss chard. He's huge. I've let it go to seed. I didn't get any Swiss chard this year because I didn't have any seeds for them. So I figured I'd let this one go to seed from last year, and we've just been picking off the leaves and using those. And I think I will have lots of seeds for next year. This is the pole beans, and I've just put them on a old step ladder, and below them is some lettuce, and that sort of keeps them out of the sun in the shade. Back over here we have a zucchini. This isn't any zucchini though, it's called a trombosino, something like that. And you can see it's sort of a curved zucchini, and they can get like 18-20 inches long. These are the bush beans, and we had a first feed of them last night. They were wonderful. Back over on this side, where the pole beans are, these are black beans. They're drying bean as well. As you can see, we're going to have lots of beans this winter. And then at the end here, we have some kale. So we have curly kale, Russian kale, and there is some dinosaur kale at the end. Okay, before we go down over here, we'll come back over here and finish up. This is the onion patch. So this used to be lettuce. We've replanted it in beets and potatoes, and they came up. These are onions. Down here we have like a little yellow onion that I grew from seed, and the same with the Kelsey. I grew from seed as well. An older broccoli plant, and down here I've planted more carrots. This is a weed. I'm waiting to see what the flower is going to be like. Okay, come over here. We'll just do a quick tour of the greenhouse. This is my little greenhouse where I start all my seeds, and usually it's filled full of plants, but the only thing that's in here right now are my cotton plants, and they haven't done very well. I think it's not been hot enough for them. There's the skewers there that I used to hold the hula hoops down with. And right at the back there where I've got all my tools, oh, that is wonderful. What it is a pallet cut in half, and then my tools stand upright in it, and it is just great. And at the back there, that's the only fertilizer I use. That is Epsom salts, and then beside that is fish fertilizer, and I use that on the tomatoes. Okay, back to the garden. This is the strawberry patch, and last year I took out all the ever-bearing strawberries, and I just put in all the ones that have strawberries on them in June, and it was way nicer. The strawberries were just absolutely huge and wonderful. Really enjoyed them. Here was a bed that was full of broccoli and cauliflower, and there's one broccoli plant still left. Down here I've replanted corn, and this is to keep quail out. And there's more broccoli coming up there. And then there's potatoes, at the back there, and the lavender, and I've already dug out some of the potatoes. I'll finish the rest off today. There's some more cabbage, and here is chickpeas. I've got chickpeas at either end of the asparagus patch, and the asparagus was wonderful this year. We really enjoyed it. It was sort of the first year I could pick it, and it was really nice. Okay, we'll go down. You can smell the lavender. See, it attracts the bees, which is wonderful. Here we have the blueberries, and I did a big picking yesterday, so there's not a lot of blueberries on here right now, but there's more coming all the time. There's another blueberry patch over there, and here we have sort of the root vegetables, or the winter vegetables. So here's another weed. We're waiting to see what the flower is. Brussels sprouts, and then this is carrots, more beets, and over on the other side there is, I don't know if you can see down there or not, but they're little golden turnips, which are really nice. This is the grapes, and we have tons of grapes this year. Last year we had like about 2 bunches of them, and the raccoons got them. And this year we are just loaded. So it's going to be fun to pick them this fall if we beat them before the raccoons get them. This is spaghetti squash, as you can see down here. There's 3 spaghetti plants in here, spaghetti squash plants, and they fill up the whole bed. They are huge. And around the corner here we have another one of the zucchinis and there they are, the long zucchinis. So they're coming along, and this one is growing right up into the grape arbor. Okay, one more thing to show you. This is a loofah plant, and the poor thing was outside for quite a bit of the spring, and it got eaten and cold, and so it didn't do anything. And now it is starting to grow, so I don't know if it'll have anything on it or not this year. There's another tomato plant, and that's about it for the garden this year.